So in today's video, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be comparing parabolic style softboxes against lantern style softboxes. Let's jump straight into the video. Let's start off with the lantern softbox. Now, how I like to describe what the main difference is between the two softboxes, I would describe it almost similar to the light you'd get from a bulb versus the light you'd get from a torch. Now, if you have a torch light, that's more directional in terms of where you point the torch light, that beam of light is going to light up the area that the torch is being pointed at. If you have a bulb, it lights almost in a 360 type of way in terms of it'll light the front, the back, the bottom, some elements at the top. So with a lantern softbox, it's very similar to that. So the light that comes from this is omnidirectional rather than directional. So what that means is you're getting light come from all sides of the softbox, right? So when you use a lantern softbox, it's going to give more light within the space that you're lighting because the light direction is omnidirectional rather than directional. So you're getting light spill all over the room or the space that you're lighting. Next up, we've got the octagon stroke parabolic style of softbox. And one of the main things you'll notice straight away is that you're probably seeing that the exposure level within the room in terms of the light is a little bit less than when I had the lantern style softbox. Because of the way the light comes out of this style of softbox, the light is more directional versus the lantern style softbox where the light was kind of spilling all over the room. This, you're only getting light from the front side. And that's one of the biggest differences you'll notice straight away with the soft boxes. So as you can see, the light comes from the front. You're not getting any light come from the side, the top, the bottom. The main light comes through this diffusion material that's just at the front of the light. So in terms of the light that you're getting, if I move this, you'll see that there's less light in this area now because the light is pointing in that direction towards the back of the room. If I swing it back, then you start seeing more light within this area in terms of where that softbox is being pointed. So that's one of the biggest differences that you notice straight away between the two style of softboxes. Okay, so what you're gonna see next is me set up a scene similar to what I would have in an interview setup, and I wanna see what these two softboxes look like when they're being used as a key light for an interview setup. Okay, so what I've done here is set up a little scene that would be similar to what I would set up if I was doing a talking to camera piece or an interview piece. Let's say if I was doing an interview with someone, I'll probably still have the camera set up in the same position, but just have them looking slightly off camera, maybe position them a little bit here so there's a bit of headroom when they're talking to the person interviewing, whether that's me or the client. But yeah, I would have them facing similar, something like this. And what I've done with the light setup, I've got the lantern softbox just to the left of me, like at a 45-degree angle, and I'm filming on the shadow side. And the first thing you notice straight away is that the light that is coming from the softbox is very soft, very, very soft light. It's very flattering on the skin, and you can see kind of the roll off from light to dark is very smooth. There's not a lot of contrast or a lot of shape to the face, but it is pleasing in terms of the look you're getting on the face coming from this light. What you will also notice as well is that the light that comes from this is omnidirectional and it's spilling all over the place, bouncing off the walls and bouncing off onto the rest of the background. So this is, I think this look does work. I wouldn't be too displeased with using this for a talking head piece or an interview setup. I do like what's coming out of camera from what I can see in the monitor. This is just with the lantern softbox, no other accessories cutting off any parts of the light coming from the softbox. And so far, I think it's a good look. I like what I'm seeing. So this is what we're gonna see when I'm just using a lantern softbox without any other accessories. So what we're gonna do now is jump to see what this looks like with your traditional style octagon stroke parabolic style softbox. So what you're seeing now is the setup with a traditional octagon stroke parabolic style softbox, and straight away you can see that the light is not as soft on my face compared to the lantern style softbox. So you're seeing the light is very harsh and looks very saucy. I'm probably even gonna have to bring down the lighting levels a bit just to get my exposure right on my face, because right now it's looking like my face is a little bit overexposed. So I'm just going to bring it down a little bit just to see if that helps. So I'm bringing them down, and I think here's okay. but you're still seeing that the light is still not as soft as it was when I was using the Lantern Softbox. I am getting more contrast compared to when I was using the Lantern Softbox just on its own. So as you can see, I'm filming shadow side. The Softbox is just over here, fairly close to my face. There's quite a bit of contrast here on the side of my face. So that is the look I like. So straight away out of the box, I've been able to achieve the contrast levels that I like. But one thing that is noticeably different is the softness. There's more, I would say, harsher hot spots on my face compared to using the Lantern Softbox. But in terms of the contrast levels is what I'm looking for, and in terms of the light not spilling all over the room, I'm kind of getting the look and feel that I want. Now, both of these softboxes come with accessories that allow you to shape the light. The parabolic stroke octagon style softbox comes with what we call an egg crate, and this egg crate allows you to control the spill of the light that comes out of the softbox. And with the Lantern style softbox, you've got what I'll describe as almost like flags, but these can be draped around various parts of the softbox, but also can be controlled by rolling up certain parts of the material that blocks light coming from certain parts of the softbox. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how these accessories can be used to control and shape the light that comes out of these softboxes. So right now, it's a similar style setup for a talking headpiece or an interview piece. And what you can see straight away, even though this is filmed with the Lantern Softbox, you can see that exposure levels have gone down compared to the previous shot, which I had before. But that's primarily because I've placed, I'm not sure what they're calling this, but the additional material that comes with the softbox in order for you to wrap it around the softbox and control the light spill a little bit more. So what that has done is meant that this light has gone from just being primarily omnidirectional to a more directional light, because I'm flagging off some of the rest of the light that would have been spilling and bouncing off against the walls and hitting the background to make it more directional, and it's just hitting this side of my face, and I've got the camera right in front of me filming shadow side. So I'm still getting very soft and flattering light, but what you now see is that a little bit more contrast has been added to my face, and it's given me a bit more shape, and it's made my face less flat compared to the previous setup. And this is the look I tend to go for when I am filming. It's still giving me that soft light. Now obviously the background is a little bit more darker, but in the setup I could, you know, rectify that by maybe placing some lights in the background, but that wouldn't impact the light that's hitting my face. So I really like this look. It's something I think I will try a little bit more, because it still gives me the soft flattering light that I'm looking for, but it also allows me to control the light a little bit better. What you're seeing now is the octagon stroke parabolic style softbox with the grid on it, and straight away you can see that the exposure levels have come down quite a bit. So the grid kind of controls the light even more and makes it even more directional and stops any additional spilling out further onto the background. So the grid kind of focuses all the light directly in one direction, so it's more just hitting my face and the rest of my body and not spilling out to the background behind me. So as you can see, the exposure levels are a lot lower and the background is a little bit more darker, but I prefer this type of look when I'm doing interviews or talking head pieces, especially for my YouTube channel. This is the kind of look I would be going for in some of the scenarios. I do like this look a little bit more, and the thing that I prefer about using traditional softbox, you get the Rembrandt lighting and you're getting that little triangle on the side of your face. There is room for me to increase the light levels a bit, so I can just boost the light levels a bit just to see what that looks like. So I'm just going to increase it a little bit more. I can bring that probably just about here, and I think this is a good look. From what I can see in the monitor, this is something I'll be pleased with. If anything, I can reduce it a little bit in post, but I really like this look, and this is what I would tend to go for using a grid, although I'm not using a really big softbox, which in most cases I would. But I use this softbox because I feel this is a standard softbox that most people would have when starting out, and it's a similar size to the Lantern. So I wanted to have something a little bit like for like when testing the two softboxes. But I like the softness that is coming from this modifier using the grid, and this would be a look I'll be more than pleased with to use in an interview scenario setup like this. Obviously, if I was going for more of a high key look, I would have the exposure levels a little bit higher, or I would add more light to the background if I wanted to bring that up. But this allows me to control the light levels on the subject, i.e. myself, or if I'm filming someone else. Okay, so as you can see, both of these softboxes can be used in a variety of different ways. Both of these give soft and flattering light. I would say that the lantern gives a lot more of a flattering light and more softer light compared to your traditional octagon or parabolic style softbox. But the biggest difference I would say with the two lights is that in terms of your traditional style softbox, you're getting more directional light, whereas with the lantern style softbox, you're getting more omnidirectional light. But as you saw in the video, there are ways to shape the light to make it more directional with the lantern softbox by using some of the accessories that come with the softbox, by flagging off some of the light coming from the softbox. So I'd say if you're trying to achieve very soft and flattering light when you're filming people, I would say the lantern is the way to go, because you can achieve very soft and flattering light very easily from this softbox. It's also very good for creating a lot of light within a space or within a room. And if you want more even and ambient lighting in a space, using a lantern, you can easily achieve this. Now, don't get me wrong, you still can achieve soft and flattering light with softboxes. Larger softboxes make it easier. You still can do that with smaller softboxes. For example, the one I'm filming on now is a fairly small softbox. If you move it closer into your subject, it can give you that soft and flattering look. And what I really like about using softboxes is I feel in terms of controlling the light and where you want it to go, it's a little bit easier. Like I said, you can do that with the lantern, but it requires a little bit more work. Whereas with the traditional softbox, you can just place a grid on it. Even without the grid, the light is a little bit more directional. So I think it just all depends on what you're trying to achieve in a scene. I don't think really there's a right or wrong way in terms of choosing which light modifier you want to use, but I would say having both of these modifiers in your kit is a great option to have, because I think they're very versatile and give you a lot of options. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video and learned a little bit more about the differences between a traditional softbox and a lantern style softbox. If you did, please give this video a like. If you haven't already, please subscribe to the channel and let me know in the comments what you thought of the video, and if you have a favorite type of light modifier for lighting subjects or scenes or spaces. But for now, thank you for watching and hope to see you guys in the next video.